the economy is the major driver right now of Donald Trump's approval rating being so dismal. And we'll show you that Fox News poll in a bit. But as I headlined, we got the news that the government's October jobs report won't be published due to the government shutdown. And the September numbers that they just released were stronger than expected because weakness was expected. But, there will likely be downward revisions as there were for the numbers over the summer. The economy is just not doing well right now. And it's not good politics to constantly be denying it. I mean, we saw a less extreme version of this in the 2024 race where the Harris campaign did not do enough, I would say, to distance itself from the Biden administration's policies on this because they were toxic, because cost of living was a major, major problem for people. But the way Trump is doing this, getting agitated because there's the word affordability shows up on his teleprompter and then riffing about it in a joke as a billionaire rich guy building his Gilded Age style ballroom. Yeah, I'm not sure the politics of this are great.
Great job. We're also making incredible strides to make America affordable again. That's a new word that they're using. Affordability, they talk. They had the worst inflation in history. They had the highest prices in history. The country was going to hell. The only thing that we're going up in is our stock market, okay? The only price that we really have, I mean, we're bringing prices down, but they came up with a new word, affordability. And they look at we were all about affordability, and everyone assumes that that meant that, no, their prices were high.
Wait, he got a nail on, I know he's stream of consciousness, but is that you got to have a nugget if you're going to work around that. The CBS compiled some of these stats here. We'll just go briefly through these 5 categories. Half of Americans say it's harder to afford groceries today than it was a year ago. You can see that they cite there that Axios and Harris poll, and you see the prices going up for all food on this chart. 3/4 of Americans, this is the next piece. No, this is the right one. Say housing has grown more unaffordable in their communities. There it is, per YouGov. 3/4 of Americans say housing has grown more unaffordable in their communities in recent years.
Which, by the way, also, he acts like he wasn't already president, and this stuff wasn't worsening between 2016 and 2021.
Right.
One word, Biden.
And 2024 here, childcare. This is, but to the point of the greedflation and what the pandemic did and how already wealthy interests took advantage. In 2024, the average annual cost of care for one child around the U.S. topped $1,300, $13,000, dollars, up 30% from 2020. That's crazy.
That's huge.
Huge. So those are just kind of 3 pieces there. Healthcare, of course, the premiums are skyrocketing due to the Republicans.
And that's just a policy decision.
Yeah. To throw more people into desperation. And so own it. But Trump's ego feels like, he can control the narrative in any situation, and he can bully his way out of every situation. And here's another instance of this. So he knows the economy is slowing, and he is once again back thrashing about because he wants to fire the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, but he is not legally allowed to do so. He's currently being tied up in the courts trying to fire Lisa Cook, and that's not working. And now he's literally just bullying his Treasury Secretary and threatening to fire Bessent in public like this is a boardroom scene on The Apprentice. He wants interest rates to come down, okay? But if he does not release these October jobs numbers, the Fed needs that information to make its determinations about interest rates. You can't be concealing important information on the economy and then have your cake and eat it too. But here he is just if you, Scott Bessent, can't bully Jerome Powell into doing what I want, then I will fire you because I can't fire Jerome Powell.
Rates are down despite the Fed. I mean, Scott, you got to work on this guy. He's got some real mental problems. And there's something wrong with him. It's just sweet. I'd be honest, I'd love to fire his ass. He should be fired. Guy's grossly incompetent. And he should be sued for spending $4 billion to build a little building. I'm building a ballroom that's going to cost a tiny fraction of that, and it's bigger than the whole thing put together. You got to work on him, Scott. The only thing Scott's blowing it on is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass, okay? I can't tell you, Scott, sir, don't fire him. Sir, please don't fire him. He's got 3 months to go. Don't fire him. I want to get him out, Scott. Please. He's the voice of reason. You're very lucky you have him, I'll tell you that.
Okay, so I mean, he's threatening Bessent there.
Did you say where he was at?
Oh, I did not. That is the
U.S. Saudi Investment Forum.
Right,
the
yes.
rulers of the world.
I saw Larry Kudlow went on Fox News last night and was saying how important this is, that he's bringing in all this Saudi investment. And I'm just like, you know that the economy is collapsing. You know this, Kudlow. But the amount that they just have to perform for this guy and for this audience is... it's authoritarian.
Pardon me if I'm not rushing to be overjoyed with the Saudis taking more financial stake in America. Like, great.
I mean, this is where you have Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to exploit the, betrayal of the America First branding, which we all know was insincere at the outset. But, Trump just is obsessed with money wherever he can get it. And the cheapest way to get it is basically from some of these despots in the Middle East. And we'll be talking to Jeremy Scahill as well about their complicity in this, in forwarding this, privatized Gaza partition plan, and abandoning the Palestinians despite the fact that public opinion within their states shows that there's broad support for the Palestinian cause. But that's why the United States likes that the Middle East is so undemocratic. It's because it allows them to pay to play. And Trump is just doing it in a more nakedly self-serving way, as opposed to United States imperial interests, which has basically been the line for previous presidents.
That's the thing is, states like Russia, Russia and China, they're operating on very nationalistic terms. Our country is running for the individual, very powerful individuals, and they're calling it nationalism.
Yep, right. Whatever is good for Trump is good for America. That's how he operates. And he's so dumb that he can't even kind of merge the two in a way that makes sense or will actually benefit people. He could benefit himself and enrich himself and still not have these kinds of numbers on the economy like this.
We have to act like if it's good for Sam Altman, it's good for all of us.
Yep. These Fox, just briefly to show you how bad it's getting for Trump. This Fox News poll that came out yesterday is just devastating. This is the worst in terms of his approval rating. That his worst performance in terms of an approval rating since October 2017. It's a 5-point drop since the poll that was taken in September. And he now has his lowest approval rating ever on the economy. Among all voters, 41% approve of the job Trump is doing, while 58% disapprove. Only once have his ratings been lower, and that was during his first term, 38 to 57% in October 2017, which I would have anticipated that it was pandemic time or January 6th time. But 2 months ago, it was 46 to 54%. So that is outside the margin of error in terms of dropping. When it comes to the national economy versus personal finances, evaluations are also negative. Most say conditions are only fair or poor, 76%, and fewer than 1 in 5 think inflation is completely or mostly under control. At the end of Biden's term, voters said by a wide 30-point margin that his economic policies had done more to hurt than help their families, driven by 3/4 of Republicans saying they've been harmed. The new survey shows almost identical results as voters say by a 31-point margin that Trump's economic policies have hurt rather than helped them, driven by 3/4 of Democrats saying that they have been harmed. And by a nearly 2-to-1 margin, voters say Trump is more responsible for the current economy than Biden, 62% to 32%. Yeah, because he's president. So it's pretty hard for him to make that case. But and then on the issues, this Fox News poll asked their respondents about 6 separate policy issues. The only one where he's above water is on border security at over 50%. But when it goes to immigration, he's underwater. When you're looking at his disapproval on the economy, tariffs, and healthcare, he has above 60% disapproval on that as well. The bright spot that Republicans are trying to glean from this is that his numbers aren't as bad on foreign policy, but they're still below. His approval rating is below is worse than his disapproval on that, and it's basically being buoyed by some misleading reporting about the nature of the ceasefire in Gaza, as we're seeing overnight in this genocide. Over 25 Palestinians were killed in airstrikes by Israel.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.